Greetings, welcome to Back to School Night. And let's get these display settings correct. There we go. This is for the freshman level multimedia course, and I'm just going to go through some of the main things that our class does, some of our expectations as far as like rules and procedures and grading policies and all that. I'll show you where the syllabus is. You probably already saw it as you came into this team meetings. I've got some contact information, and then we'll be out of here because every one of these periods is kind of short. So I'm doing a video just so that I can press play and not talk 6 times, but also so that it's referenced here on the Teams and on the Google Classroom environment that we have in class. So moving on. What we're going to cover here in this video, we'll go over the syllabus very briefly, where you can find it, what it looks like. I'm not going to read the entire thing. Class material, we'll just go over the main things that we plan to do and major projects that we'll be doing in freshman multimedia as part of the business marketing technology pathway. Teams versus Google Classroom, we'll talk about why and when will you be using both of these tools. My contact information for parents in case you need to get a hold of me for any reason, and then we'll have some time left at the end hopefully for any questions or feedback on the stuff that we covered. So the syllabus, let's talk about where the syllabus is and what's on it. So on this Teams for your class, you will find it in the Files section, so I'll kind of drop out of this real quick and show you in Teams what that looks like. So if I'm going to Teams, we go to first through third period are my freshmen, so this is what the Teams environment looks like. You went to this channel to get to this video. There is the syllabus right there, but also I put it into the general section under Files. So if you need to see syllabus, you could click here. And so the syllabus just kind of goes over class expectations, stuff about our project-based learning, a description right here in detail of the types of things that we'll be going over, quick contact information, grading policy basically for the school, and then we've got the academic honesty integrity policy, and then we go over acceptable use and cell phone policies. So if you want to read through that for the class, you can. So that's on Teams in 2 different spots. Now going back to where we were at, and the class material that we'll be covering, the major things. So yeah, we're going to be doing graphic design. So there's 5 main things.
Typography. Color. It's everywhere we look.
Pause those. There's 5 main things that we'll do in class: graphic design, photography, videography, animation, and music creation. And then on top of that, we actually are doing touch typing and some coding as well. So with the graphic design, one of the major projects we'll do at first is the CRAP poster. CRAP stands for contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. We'll also go over typography, so that's the style and appearance of text. And we'll also get into kinetic typography, where you actually see letters moving in sort of an animation, so that we'll be doing a project with that. Color theory we talk about quite a bit within the graphic design genre, and then word cloud is something that we do in a project that kind of incorporates some of these things. And photography, we're going to do simple image editing of photographs that we find online.
Hello.
We're going to do a lot of projects on a website called Pixlr. It's kind of a poor man's version of Photoshop, so we'll be doing a lot of stuff there. One of my favorite projects called Color Splash, where you take a photograph, make it black and white, and then just reveal a little bit of color. So it's kind of a neat project. We'll go through the history of photography. Where did the very first photograph come from, and how far have we gone from there? And then elements of photography are just going through the composition of taking a good photograph, and there will be 1 or 2 projects associated with that. Next, Okay, so animation also is going to involve kind of the history of the transition going from photography to then animation and then animation to videography, so it's a nice little middle transition between the two. And so let me just make this so we can see. Get back to the animation part. We'll talk about it. So yeah, history of animation, and then we're going to do kind of a flip book type of project, and then we're going to do a stop motion animation project. This one playing right now actually is an example from a couple years ago. A student did with crayons and some candy and stuff, so that was kind of fun. And after we've done the stop motion animation, we're going to do these modules that are on Khan Academy. They did a partnership with Pixar Studios, and we get to learn about kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff that they do, some of the tools they use and techniques that they use. So that's how we'll cover animation for this class. We have animation. We'll go through the history of cinema and video from the very earliest cameras for video all the way up to present time. Video composition, so just like there's composition for photography, video adds a few other things like different camera angles and depth of field and that sort of thing. We'll do a how-to video project, and then our final project for the entire year is a YouTube video that encompasses all the things that we learned. So they'll be doing their YouTube channel art, they'll be doing the voiceovers with a microphone, they'll be creating their own music because you don't want to violate copyright law, and they'll be editing everything for it. So by the time we get there in May, they'll be able to have all the tools to be able to do that. We're going to do some music creation. So a few of the things that we'll do is we'll go over basic music theory so that when they get over here to where we're creating loops, they'll understand what some of this stuff means as far as music theory goes. And then we'll go over copyright law and use and what kinds of music we can use on our videos on a YouTube or a Venmo or other hosting sites that we might use for video. And Microsoft Teams versus Google Classroom. So Microsoft Teams we'll use when we need to, like when a quarantine happens, like for an individual. So if that happens to you, the Teams will be available as far as chat and video if necessary, but our assignments will always be on Google Classroom. So if your student hasn't already shown you, our environment for what our class looks like for assignments is this in Google Classroom. They've already gone in there. They've got quite a few projects we've already done. We've done the Who Are You survey. We're going through some of the Google apps, so Gmail and Drive, and we're doing some search techniques right now. There's the syllabus again in Google Classroom in case you need it there. Daily school announcements we have there and more. If parents, you would like to get access to the Google Classroom environment, we can do that. We can invite from the students Google Classroom, or actually I can. And so you just let me know and we'll get you an invite so that you can see everything your student sees on Google Classroom. And that'll be a good thing. Okay, going back to here, we're just about done with the information that I need to talk about, and then we'll have time for questions hopefully. So we went over all of this. And then so my contact information is right here. So a lot of things I'm involved with on campus. So business, marketing, technology, pathway teacher for 2 levels. So it's marketing, sales, and service. This class, which is the freshman multimedia class, Blue Nation DECA advisor. I do a couple clubs on campus. I'm an assistant tennis coach as well. Here is the address to the school. My room is S51 on the south side. That's my email address again. And if you want to follow our Blue Nation store, which is what our seniors do, you could go to @BlueNation55 on Instagram, or if you'd like to purchase anything, www.BlueNation55.com. And now, if there's any questions from you, I will stop this video, go live, and we will talk about those questions or comments. Thanks for coming.